Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with FoneArena.com, and right now I have the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 in my hands. If you had seen our blog or our YouTube channel itself earlier, we have posted a lot of content. We posted the unboxing and some camera samples and even the benchmarks of this device. So if you haven't checked those out, do check it out right away. The links are in the description below and you can view the related videos right here. So yeah, this is the Galaxy Note 3 and it has a 13 megapixel camera. So that is what we are going to talk about right now. There is a 13 megapixel camera on the back, and you can notice that it also has a single LED flash. Now, the single LED is a high power flash, and the 13 megapixel sensor is made by Sony. It is the stacked XMOR or S CMOS sensor that's on the Samsung Galaxy S4 as well. But Samsung, having known for its custom chips, is using a custom chip again for the ISP made by Fujitsu. So these Fujitsu ISPs produce great vibrant colors and sharpness. They use dedicated algorithms and they work in tandem with the 13 megapixel sensor here. So mind you, this is the same as the Galaxy S4, so we are expecting great results similarly. You also have a secondary mic on the top here. This secondary microphone is used for stereo audio recording in video. This phone can record 1080p Full HD video right from 30 fps to 60 fps. We'll show you what all the different modes for the video are. It can also record 720p 120 fps slow motion video. We'll talk about that. So yeah, that's the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 camera. But first, let's walk you through the interface. The interface here is typically Samsung, as you will see right away. So this is the interface, and pretty similar to what you saw on the Samsung Galaxy S4 as well as the Samsung Galaxy Mega and countless other Samsung devices. So over at the right you have the auto mode, which is the current mode depicted in text here. The video shutter button automatically starts recording a video when you press the button, and the shutter button, which obviously takes a photo when you click on it. And then you have the mode dial, which will go into detail. And over here you have some live filters. There are some new filters added here like fisheye, faded color, and others which are already there since beginning. And you also have a new download filters option if you need new filters. And then you have the gallery thumbnail over here at the bottom left, and over at the top the front facing camera toggle, the 2MP front facing camera that can record 1080p video too. And then you have other modes that this is the back camera and the front facing camera same on the same viewfinder. You can take a picture by looking at the photo, taking a picture, and this will save as the picture with the inlay of your face. So that's pretty cool. That was also on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Let's go back to the camera, and then you have immediate settings and toggles for a lot of things. You have stabilization and night mode enhancement. So smart stabilization adjusts the camera in low light to give you brighter, clearer pictures without the flash, but obviously you have to hold the device steady. And you can notice that this function does not apply to recording, so it's only for stills obviously. So we have turned it on. We'll show you samples with it on and off separately. And this is voice control, which we have seen in other Samsung devices too. You can ask the camera to shoot say smile and take a photo and whatnot. This is probably useful for self timer photos. And moving on, you also have the video modes, which we'll go through while in the video segment. And then you have the quick sharing mode and the microphone on off, the flash toggle. Over at the top left you have the settings, which takes you into the in-depth settings. These are the photo settings. You can see that 13 megapixel size for the 4:3, 9.6 for the 16 by 9, up to 2.4 megapixels. You can take a burst shot. You can let it on or off. Let's put it off. And you can also set to take pictures while on a tap. No need to press the shutter button. Face detection, metering, smart stabilization, pretty much the norm. And over at the video settings, you can have the video size, which is weird because 1440 by 1080 is 4:3. Pretty weird, that resolution. You also have video stabilization. This is software based, and audio zoom. And then you have the normal settings here: white balance, exposure values, guidelines, flash. A lot of these settings are pretty normal. And also you have the voice control here, pretty redundant. You can turn review on or off after taking a photo, and of course you can toggle the geolocation. So that's the camera user interface. Let's talk about the camera performance now. So we shot a lot of pictures in daylight, in low light, as well as with HDR on or HDR off, which can be seen in the mode dial. So let's go through them first before viewing the samples. You have the auto mode, which is by default selected when you open up the camera. Your beauty face beautification thing, that is very popular with the East Asians, so that's why it's there. And then you have best photo, best face. Best photo takes a burst of photos and selects automatically the best one. The best face, you can switch between the faces after taking a burst of photos. Sound and shot records audio with JPG and plays it back. So that's pretty normal. That's also seen in other devices. You have the drama shot, which takes a burst of photos of an action and overlays the moving object on the same image. This is pretty cool. And then you have animated photo. Animated photo is very similar to Nokia's Cinematograph. So you take an animated photo and you can select or deselect the moving objects while keeping the other areas frozen. That's the use of animated photo. And then you have golf, which is a very weird mode because I haven't seen this camera mode even in point and shoot cameras. So you make a person stand in the golfing position and it automatically detects a person swinging the golf club and takes a photo. It's very similar to action shot, but I don't know what Samsung is going for here by including a golf mode when you can already do that in the drama shot mode. And then you have the HDR. HDR is pretty self-explanatory. It takes 3 exposure shots and combines them into a single image for a wider dynamic range. You have eraser. Eraser is erasing a moving object from the photo, which is pretty standard in all the phones these days. And then you have panorama, a pretty normal sweep panorama mode. And you have finally included support for Photosphere on this camera. So this is running on Android 4.3. Photosphere was supposed to be on all Android 2.2 devices, but Samsung has made it available finally on the Galaxy Note 3 with Android 4.3. And then you have the sports mode, which is pretty normal. It will take photos with a faster shutter speed. So these are all the modes, and we have taken a lot of pictures in various conditions with quite a few of these modes. So let's talk about them. So daylight pictures are pretty nice. They are very similar to what we saw on the Samsung Galaxy S4. There may be a little bit of dullness in the photo because of the underexposure. Here are some daylight photo samples from what we took earlier. The pictures are nicely detailed and they have good amount of detail. Look at the photo right here. This has good amount of detail even when 100% zoomed in. This is not usually possible on other phones. You can easily make out the text there. So that's why we use this photo a lot. It's very hard to make out the text on some other phones. But we did notice that the photos were a bit dull when compared to other phones. That's probably due to the slight underexposure of the algorithm. But otherwise, the pictures have come out really well. Might be a little bit over sharpened for our tastes, but this is pretty good. So those are the daylight photos. And talking of daylight photos, we also tried out the rich tone HDR. So this is a normal photo. You can zoom in and see that there are a lot of dark places here which you cannot make out from this photo. And then this is a HDR photo which you can clearly see the dark places here. But we would say this is not as striking as the HDR we have seen on other photos. And moving on to macro shots, The macro shots that we took earlier were pretty good. So as you can see, the macro shots are highly detailed, and of course they are looking very good because of the 13 megapixel sensor. We also noted that maybe the photos are a little bit over sharpened, maybe there's a little bit of hazy overexposure there, but otherwise we think the photos are really good, but it could be probably better with better contrast, higher contrast perhaps. And now moving on to low light photos. Low light is where the camera struggles a little bit. So this photo was taken with ample lighting. This is a macro shot, and it was taken in ample lighting, so you can see all the objects lit up fine. So this photo came out really well. This is considered an indoor photo. So as you can see, it was pretty much detailed. Then we dimmed down the lights. We had one light at full force, and it looked like this. As you can notice, this was taken with the assist that you saw earlier, smart stabilization. This helped take the photo really nicely. Moving on, we further dimmed down the lighting, and this is what happened. So with the smart stabilization mode on, it was a bit hard to focus, but once it focused, it could take a decent photo. This was ridiculously low lighting, but with a pink cast all over the photo, it could indeed take a photo, but we think it could have done better. So what we did was turned on the flash. So the problem is, this is a macro shot and it could not contain the power of the flash, so it overblown the highlights and it did not even focus on the object. So we focused again, and then the same overblowing highlights happened. So the flash might be too powerful for macro shots, but from a distance it works really well. The flash is pretty good, and we thought that using a flash would be better in low light scenarios, but if you can keep your device really steady, use the smart stabilization mode. Without the smart stabilization mode, it was unbelievably hard to focus on a photo. It did not even turn on the focus assist light. There is no focus assist light here, so yeah, that was pretty hard to take that photo in low light. We think the Note 3 manages well in low light with smart stabilization on, but make sure that you keep the device steady and it will be good. Now moving on to video, this is one of the most important aspects of the Note 3. In the Snapdragon 800 version, it can record 4K video, which is one of the few devices in the world that can do that. So we got hold of a Snapdragon 800 version and we took a sample. You can watch it now. Well, as you saw, the 4K sample came out actually pretty good, but unfortunately we were not able to test the other video modes, which all work on the Exynos 5 Octa version. So you can notice that there are a lot of video modes here. You can set the resolution inside the settings as we showed you earlier, but there's also slow motion, fast motion and smooth motion. So this device has support for 720p 120fps slow-mo videos, which is the same as the one on the iPhone 5s. So selecting 1x4 will enable you to take 30 fps videos downsampled from the 120 fps video, which will make it look like slow motion. So what I'm gonna do is show you a camera sample with 720p 120 fps. So yeah, the videos in terms of performance, they came out really well. Probably a little bit over sharpened for our taste, but it came out really well. We think the Note 3 is a really capable video device. So in the end, we feel that the Note 3 is almost exactly the same as the Galaxy S4 in terms of camera performance, but it can record slow motion 120 fps video. But for a high-end device, we think Samsung could do better, but camera centric devices are there for that, and Note is not a camera centric device. For that, the camera is really good. So we will be uploading more camera samples for the full review, so stay tuned And thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Do hit the like button if you like it, and do subscribe to our channel for more videos like these. Thanks for watching.